Hey guys, and welcome back to Stuff Steve Likes. Appreciate you stopping by today, and just wanted to give you a quick little review of my newest watch. This is the Glycine Combat Sub, and this is the one known among the watch community as the Costco version. I'm a member of Costco, and they had this, and I was just going to show you the packaging here real quick. Open up the outer box. Inside you get a little card. Reference number of this one is GL0244. And this is international guarantee. Inside it basically shows you how to use the crown and so forth. Just a little bit of information there. Pause and read if you want. So get the caliber number GL224, and this is your warranty card that you can fill out if you want. Anyway, that's all the paperwork that you get with it. Very simple but effective. There's an inner box here. It says Glycine since 1914 with the logo, and then inside there's nothing. There's nothing in here. Here's the little hang tag. You can see that. GL0244. There's a little pillow. That's basically it. The watch is not in here because it's on my wrist. This is the watch here. Very nice. I've got it on a green NATO. This is the strap that comes with it right here. It's kind of this carbon fiber. It actually is carbon fiber from what I understand. The very top layer. And then it's leather on the back. And it actually says Glycine and has the logo here. Genuine leather made in Italy. Really? I never saw that before. Made in Italy. Okay. Well, Italian. Nice. You can hear it. It's a little squeaky. I've heard some complaints on that. And it does squeak a little bit, but they say after you wear it for a while it actually goes away. I don't really like standard straps. I like NATOs. I'm going to go ahead and take the watch off here for the review. And zoom in, and we'll get on with the review here. But here's the watch, and as you can see, it's the black PVD version, but it has a really nice finish on it. You know, kind of a satinized finish, and the bezel has kind of a gloss to it. It's 42 millimeters, and the lugs are 22, so any 22 millimeter strap will work. And I've got a bunch of those. I've got this one that looks great on it. I've got an orange one that looks great on it too. The hands are really kind of cool on it. It's kind of the what they call the Mercedes hand on the hour, but without the little Mercedes logo on it. Pretty long and straight minute hand, and then the seconds hand is really cool. It's red, and it has kind of a little rectangle on it, so it actually looms really nice. The seconds hand has a nice bit of loom at night, which is cool. It has your Arabic numerals all the way around, and they are loomed. I'm going to go ahead and do a loom shot here in a little bit. But just really nice. It's so legible. It's got even your 24-hour time there. And as you can see, it says Glycine, has the logo, it says Combat Automatic in red, and then sub 20 ATM, so it's 200 meters water resistant, and Swiss made. Even the back of this is cool. It has a black PVD coating on the back as well. So here's the back of it. There you go. Sapphire crystal, all that, you know, it just basically gives the details of the watch. Then it's got the seals and the trident deal there. Anyway, so that's the back of it. I did open this up, and it does have an SW200 Swiss movement in it, which is a Solita movement, which is a good quality, you know, kind of robust movement. It's basically a clone of an ETA, but you know, similar specs and everything, 26 joules. And it's been running a little bit fast. I would say about 5 seconds a day, which isn't crazy, so I'm not gonna probably mess with it as far as the regulating it. 5 seconds a day is fine for me. It's not a big deal. Anyway, the bezel action's great. It's a 60 click bezel, and it really, like, I was like, oh man, it's only a 60 click, but honestly, it's so solid. It's just solid as a rock. I mean, you can just feel each click, like there. See how that's lined up? I mean, it's lined up perfectly. If I can get a 60 click that feels super solid and lines up perfectly, then I really don't care. I mean, even like, you know, Tudor and a lot of those companies are using 60 click bezels, so as long as it's a good quality one, I'm fine with it. But this lines up so well, and it's got this little raised portion here, which is really neat. Right here, it's got this raised portion, so you can feel where it's at. So like when you're setting it up, like I'll use my thumb and I can kind of feel that, and I want it, let's say at 35. Right there, I can kind of feel where it is, and you know, same thing when I'm bringing it back up. You know, that little notch there, it kind of helps you feel where the Loom pip is. So anyway, nice touch. I've never seen that on a watch. This is the first one I've seen, and it's not, you know, it's not a big deal, but it's a nice little touch. You can see there the, you know, the coin edge is very grippy, not too super grippy, but definitely gives you good purchase on it. There's the crown. You can see it's got the signed crown, which is nice. And look at how those lugs, they turn down like that. So even though it's a 42 millimeter, I think pretty much anybody could wear this watch. It's just really, it's nice and thin. It's only 10.5 millimeters thick. So you know, for a 200 meter, you know, diver, this is quite thin. The other thing is the seconds hand is red. It's got red writing on it, and then the date, excuse me, it's not a day, it's just a date, is red also. So it's got some, it's just got some nice little touches on it that make it look cohesive. Yeah, and I just love that satin PVD. Looks great, and I think especially on this green NATO, it just has that. It has that really military-esque look to it. Sapphire crystal. It's a flat sapphire, so you know, look at it from the side, and it's just so sleek. But yeah, I don't know how much longer these will be available at Costco, but $279. I just feel like that's an absolute steal. 279 bucks for a Swiss-made watch, and it's not a fly-by-night company. This is a company that's been around since 1914, and I just feel like that's really exceptional. I know they were bought by Invicta a couple years ago, and people have been giving them a hard time about that, but they say that they're made in the same factory. They're not outsourcing anything extra that they were or anything like that. I think basically Invicta just came in and gave them an infusion of cash to improve their marketing and so forth. I've heard some people say it's ruined their value on the used market, and you know, I can't speak to that. I don't know, but I would say this, that if they're bringing a watch like this to watch enthusiasts for under $300, I would say more power to them. Especially if they keep the integrity of their quality. And I will say this, even though it's a thin watch, even though it's nice and sleek, it feels solid. Now it's pretty lightweight, but for its size, it's heavy, if that makes sense. Sometimes you pick up a huge diver watch and it feels heavy, and you're like, well, it better be heavy because this thing is a chunk of steel. But this one, even though it's real sleek, 10.5 millimeters thick, it feels substantial. The crown action is perfect on it. Pull it out. Usually you can even hear it pop. Pop. There we go. And yeah, just threads beautifully. Really nice and accurate. It is a 4 Hertz movement, meaning that it's the 28,800 beats per hour, and really nice smooth seconds hand sweep there. And yeah, I just really love this watch. I think for the money spent, this is probably the best deal I've ever gotten on a watch. And I was really unaware of Glycine, but I'd seen a few videos on them, and just never paid it much attention because it wasn't one of those, huge brands that everybody talks about all the time. But I think that value for money, I think it's unbeatable. So what I'm going to do next is give you a Loom shot and come back for the video wrap-up. Alright, I'm back here. I closed the shade and charged the Loom. And as you can see, even though it's pretty bright in here, the Loom is really nice. You can just see how it's got the Loom pip on the bezel, and then not only do the indices glow, but the numbers glow as well. And I've just got to tell you, this is some really great Loom. I think it's super luminova, so obviously it's going to be great. But it will glow all the way through the night. It obviously does fade just like all Loom, but it does last, from, I would say, 10 p.m. to about 6 a.m. or so. It glows pretty well. And yeah, it's just super legible, and especially with those with the numerals loomed, it's just so easy to read this watch at night. Sometimes you're waking up and groggy and all that, and you look over at your watch and there's just a bunch of circles or whatever on there, and it's a little tougher to read. But this thing, it's just immediately you know what time it is. So very cool. And there's a Loom shot. And yeah, so just to sum up, 42 millimeters, the perfect size for just about anybody. 10.5 millimeters thick, just an amazing, thinness to such a great, tool watch. 60-click bezel that's super solid, sapphire glass. It's a Sellita SW200 movement, which is a proven movement. And the other thing about this watch is it's available in so many different styles. They have the stainless steel with black bezel, stainless steel with gold. They have them on different straps, bracelets, everything. I mean, if you go to their website, I would say there's probably 15 to 20 versions of this watch. Anyway, so just a really great choice. Again, this is the Combat Sub, and this is the Costco version that they have for $279.99 right now. Again, they probably got a special buy on it, and so once they're out, they're out, and that's kind of how Costco is. So you never know. I did see that they had a couple other versions. They had the larger version, which I tried, the 48 millimeter. For my wrist, it was just a little bit too big. It was a beautiful looking watch. It was the I think it was the stainless steel gray face with the orange indices, and that was $289, which is still a steal, but again, it was just a little bit big for my wrist. But yeah, this 42, I think anybody could feel comfortable wearing this watch. And yeah, I think that's really it. I think I hit all the points. but just an exceptional value. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I would say, if you've ever thought about becoming a Costco member, you know, I would do it, because I mean, if you can get these amazing Glycine watches for under $300, I think that's worth it on its own. And they have an incredible return policy too. Let's say you get a couple months down the road and you're like, man, I'm just not digging this watch. You can go return it and get a full refund. So it's not like you're locked into it either. So I think it's just I think it's a no-brainer. So anyway, thanks again for stopping by the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one.